That way when people would walk by him, they'd say, oh, he's busy fishing, don't bother him, because he's busy just relaxing and he's fishing, he's doing something. With Mark Twain doing that, I think a lot of us as Christians do the same thing. What do I mean? Well, for the next 20, 25 minutes, hopefully my goal is that you're going to understand what I actually mean when I say a lot of us as Christians do the same thing. There is in some respects a process. There's a process of us growing as a Christian. And that process it's really not just growing as a Christian, but it's also a process of mentorship. Some of you are in jobs, I'm sure, where maybe you mentor somebody else, or maybe you're mentored by another person. Maybe you mentor another person, or maybe you mentor them. This whole process, what we're going to see is it's a process that I went through many, many years ago. 35 years ago, first opportunity that I ever had to fly an airplane. It was in high school at Kalamazoo Christian. We did at that time, it was called SAC Week, Student Activity. Some of you were at K Christian around then too, right? Remember what SAC Week stood for? Student Activity. Nobody else remembers? Okay. It was a special week that at the school we could do all different things. Horseback riding, or karate, or learning to go swimming, or all these special things to do. Way back in 1976, my thing special to do was to go flying. So we took a couple of ground lessons and went out to Kalamazoo Airport, and we flew for about a half hour. That was what you're going to see here throughout this whole idea this morning, the mentorship of what Christ does with us, what we often do with others or have done to us. The first part is come and see. Come and see. Come and experience what I'm seeing. If you have your Bibles, I encourage you to open it to John chapter 1. John chapter 1. Looking at verse 41 and 45. Jesus has just started his ministry. Things are just on the roll. They're just going. And he has his first disciples that come to him. And it's interesting because in John 1:41, Andrew, who is Simon Peter's brother, Andrew, who is a disciple of John the Baptist, Andrew is the one who first meets Jesus. And in verse 41, Andrew comes to his brother Simon and he says, we found the Messiah. Come and see. We found him, brother. Come and see for yourself. 4 verses later, Philip finds Nathanael, and Philip says, we have found the one that Moses has written all about in the Old Testament or in the Torah. We found him. Come and see. You know, sometimes we as Christians, I know if you've been around long enough, you've heard me, I've often explained how we can share our faith, the different methods. And sometimes we think that, man, I don't want to share my faith because it's such a big thing and so scary to do. The first aspect that you and I can do with sharing our faith is saying to somebody, come and see. Hey, come to our worship service. You don't go to church at all? Come to our church service. You can dress any way you want to dress. Hey, we have a cappuccino machine in the lobby. We have coffee. Want to bring them in? Just come and come and see what worship is like. Come and see. Come and check it out. Some of you may be wondering, why in the world are we as a congregation spending $5,000 plus more dollars to bring in Sons of Thunder? We've never done anything this big as a congregation. Never have done anything this big. Why? Because we want you, I want all of us, myself included, to say to other people, come and see. Come and see. Come and experience something different in worship. Come and see that maybe your life might be changed by Jesus Christ. But just come and see. I'm not going to give you a huge, I'm just saying if you're talking to somebody, I'm not going to give you a huge explanation as to why I'm a Christian or how Christ has changed me. But just come and experience. Come and watch some grown men break a bunch of bricks and bats and twist pans up into cigars. Come and check it out. Come and see. For all of us, it started that way. We come to see. But there's a next step that then takes place. Jesus says, "Follow me." Matthew 4:19 says this. Matthew 4:19. 4:18 says, "As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw the two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew." So this was after Andrew had already said, "Come and see who this Messiah is." Jesus sees them, and they were casting their net into the lake, for they were fishermen. Verse 19. Great three words. Come, follow me. Come and follow me. Our process of growing in faith, it's not that all of a sudden, bam, we're a Christian and we can get up front and we can preach and pray and everything else. It's first come and see, and then it's come and follow. Follow me. So come and see to worship. You come once, you come a few times, over 3 or 4 months maybe. But then Jesus says, okay, you're starting to feel it in your life. Now come and follow. Make a bigger commitment. It's almost like, in some respects, I think this come and follow is when you're in high school or college or even older, you're dating some different people and all of a sudden you settle on one you're going to date. Say, I'm going to follow that one person. I'm not going to be chasing all these other women or men. I'm going to date that one person. I'm going to go steady. Remember those high school days? If you had a high school ring, you gave it to your girlfriend, or as a woman, you got that as a lady girl, you got that high school ring from that boy, and you'd have to put all that twine, not twine, but yarn. See, I never had to do that. Hopefully, no guys put the yarn on the rings. They put the yarn on the rings and the girls wear the ring, and it's a class ring. It's like, I'm going steady with this guy. Well, that is in some respects what this process is. The step number 2, follow me. Jesus says, okay, now it's time to put other things aside and simply follow me. Follow me with the call that I have within your life. The next one is, you watch me. So, come and see what's going on. Come and see. Invite people. Come into worship. See how worship is. Come and experience some of it. Then, follow me. Get more committed. Get into a steady dating relationship with Jesus Christ. Then it's, you watch me. Really watch what I'm doing. Matthew 14. Matthew 14 is a wonderful passage because it talks about really the third and the fourth step of growing within our faith. Matthew 14 verses 25 says this. Matthew 14:25. This is with Jesus walking on the water. First part of Matthew 14, John the Baptist or John the Baptizer has just been beheaded. Then verse 13, Jesus feeds the 5,000. I think that part of this you watch me idea is the fact Jesus says, come and watch what I'm doing. I can only imagine being one of the disciples. Seeing Jesus feed 5,000 plus men and women, 4,000 plus men and women. I can only imagine being there when Jesus raised Jairus' daughter. When Jesus raised Lazarus from the tomb after being dead for 3 days. I can only imagine being there when the blind man is able to see and the religious leaders ask the blind man, who healed you? I can only imagine that. I can only imagine being there with the Sermon on the Mount, and we just get a small portion of the Sermon on the Mount. I can only imagine hearing the Lord teach the entire day, and the people are hungry at the end of the day.